Greetings, YouTube. As some of you may have heard, Rotten Tomatoes has changed their policy when it comes to leaving comments about films prior to their release. Why have they done this? Because you see, there are a lot of misogynistic men out there who were shitposting about Captain Marvel prior to the films being released. Now, at the time of you're seeing this video, I may have already seen Captain Marvel. I'm not positive. It depends on what my schedule is going to be in the coming weekend. I'm hoping I had a chance to see it. I'd like to see it opening weekend because I would like to be part of the people who make those numbers really large just so I can send a big fuck you to all those misogynistic men out there. Because, you know, there are misogynistic men who are shitposting about the last Star Wars movie, number 9. And that doesn't even have a title yet. Now, why are they shitposting about Captain Marvel and the future Star Wars movie? Because there are female characters in the film. And they're main characters. Yes, there are some men out there whose masculinity and egos are so fragile. They're those little glass figures you can buy at the mall that someone makes out of spun glass. They're so delicate looking that if you breathe on them, they shatter into 1,000 pieces. Because these men have deep problems, and rather than deal with them, they would rather shitpost about movies that haven't been released or even titled yet, and hope to drive down the marketing metrics to damage these films. Oh, I hate these people. These people are the same ones that have created the atmosphere where comic book stores are bastions of male geekdom, and many women don't even want to get near them for that reason. I go into comic stores fairly frequently. My wife is sometimes with me. She has been made to feel very unfriendly many times because she is a woman in a comic book store. And she's not even normally even a customer. Occasionally she is. Some comic stores are better than others, and that's good. But some are horrible. Not to mention, some of the hygiene levels in their restrooms leave something to be desired. It's kind of a frat house vibe in a lot of these places. And I am so sick of these men. I am so sick of the way they are trying to game the system to hurt things they don't like. There are lots of things in life I don't like. And for the most part, if they don't hurt anybody, I don't care. For example, I despise football because it kills people. The fans are not harmed by this, but I still don't like football. But if somebody is a fan of tennis, nobody dies in tennis. Go be a fan of tennis. Have fun. You're a snooker fan. Go watch snooker. Go play snooker. I don't care. It's not my thing. I don't really have an opinion on it. I have no desire to ever watch a NASCAR race again. But my ex loves NASCAR. Has been to NASCAR races. I can imagine very few things in life more boring than watching people drive fast and turning left. But if people want to watch that, all right. I can marvel at the technology that goes into it. I can think the people that engage in it are probably foolish because occasionally people do die. But it isn't their goal. You can actually have a career in NASCAR and not die, not be physically injured. Unlike football where you're going to end up with some kind of trauma. But if you don't like something that someone else does, awesome. You don't have to tell them. Now, if somebody asks you, they're opening themselves up to your whatever vitriol you may want to spew. But of course, that would also make you a shitgibbon by having no social graces and would probably reinforce the reputation that geeks and nerds are graceless social outcasts. So maybe you want to rethink that. I'm not sure. But I'm tired of these men that are trying to hurt films whose main characters are women. Who will drive women off of social media. Because not just negative reviews, but personal attacks and threats of rape and violence. Just because the woman was in a movie. Are they doing the same thing to Johnny Depp, who's an abusive asshole? Or Polanski films because he's a rapist? Or any other people out there who are horrible individuals as actors or directors, many of whom are men? No, they don't. They remain quiet about these dudes. Why? Well, they're dudes. I'm sick of these men. And I'm tired of this nerd culture that says it's okay to do these things. Love what you love. Leave everybody else alone. And keep your opinions to yourself unless somebody asks you. And you want to? Do what I'm doing. Do an opinion piece on your own YouTube channel or your own blog or something like that. But don't try to game a system to hurt other people. That's just crappy. And you're making the entire fandom look bad. And if you are a guy that thinks you have the right to own something just because it's something you liked when you were 14, you're wrong. It belongs to everyone. And you're talking to someone that got really upset when 4th edition came out. It's not mine. It belongs to everybody. And Captain Marvel, the character, doesn't belong to you. Star Wars doesn't belong to you. You can love something and not be an asshole. You should try it.